going on, guys? It's me, David Films here, and welcome back to another episode of NHL 18, Los Angeles Kings franchise. In the last episode, we beat the Washington Capitals in the Stanley Cup final, denying Alexander Ovechkin of a Stanley Cup, and that's pretty much all that matters. Denying Ovechkin any chance you get is always a good thing. The Capitals so close every time, but it never works out. So, of course, we are the Stanley Cup champions, as it says right there. The Laval Rockets are the Calder Cup champions in the AHL. And here are the draft lottery results. Top 5 are Carolina, Toronto, Florida, Boston, and Detroit. Vegas at 6. So now let's take a look at retired players before we get into the meat of the video, which will be the draft, re-signing, all that good stuff. Dominic Moore, former Bruin, leaves along with Matt Cullen. Two nice depth guys there on the fourth line that could get it done at center. Chris Kelly, former center 2 for the Bruins, is actually going to go out as a left winger. And then right wingers, Jaromir Jagr and Jarome Iginla. That is crazy. Two almost legends in the sport are going to go out after a very, very long time, but both very old guys. The top defensemen there, John Michael Lyles and Ron Hainsey. Two not very great players ending their career, but I guess respectable players. No goalies retire, so that's a little weird. Awards here, obviously we won the Stanley Cup. If you haven't been paying attention at the start of this video or the last episode, then you're crazy. The President's Trophy is going to go to the Pittsburgh Penguins. We win in the West, and of course the Capitals win in the East. But also obviously here, Alexander Ovechkin is going to win the Art Ross. He's also going to win the Hart. And let's see who's going to win the James Norris. Yes, it is Brent Burns. Back-to-back years for Brent Burns. And now here, the Lady Byng is going to go to Patrick Kane. The Calder is going to go to Colin White, who just had fantastic stats. Take a look at the last episode, or maybe a couple episodes ago. I mean, he's going to be just excellent. Conn Smythe goes to Jonathan Quick. Vezina goes to Braden Holtby. So both of the top 2 goaltenders in the league faced each other in the Stanley Cup final, and that is epic right there. He'll also win the William M. Jennings Trophy, Holtby that is. Radko Gudas wins the Bill Masterson. Bergeron wins another Selke. Ted Lindsay's going to go to Alexander Ovechkin, and the Maurice Richard will go to Alexander Ovechkin. He got 4 trophies. Ovechkin was on fire, but still could not get the job done. Let's take a look at the progress reports right here. Take a look at Derek Forbort. I like how he grew. He only grew 1 overall point, but he's showing some solid growth, I guess, at his age. Dustin Brown, though, oh man, he's declining a bit. It still says he's 80 overall, but he's dropping off just a little bit. It's a little scary there. Same with a lot of our older guys. I think everyone at this point on our team is dropping off because we're just getting older and older and older, and we cannot delay a rebuild eventually, and we might have to go there in this video. So, yeah, in the system, let's take a look at some guys who grew. Zach Leslie on our defense had some nice growth, but the 2 main guys right here, Cale Clegg and Jarrett Anderson Dolan. Dolan is not in the AHL, so he's growing in the juniors. Clegg is growing in the AHL, though. Some other guys here. Actually, no, this is worrisome right here. Gabriel Velarde, a pick from a year ago, the first-round pick for the LA Kings. He did not grow at all. He is in juniors, and I'm still not sure how that whole juniors things works. It's a little concerning because I'd like to put a lot of these prospects in the AHL so that they can grow, but I just don't know the rules yet. I Googled it, I still don't know the rules. Anyway, some guys we might want to get rid of because look how many years they have left and just look how old they are. 4 years, 5 years, and 4 years for Marian Gaborik, Dustin Brown, and possibly Zach Smith, although I do like Zach Smith centering that third line. But the other 2 guys, a lot of money for not that great of results. I mean, Dustin Brown had a great regular season last season, and Marian Gaborik had pretty nice playoffs, but both those guys, are they really worth $5 million and $6 million? I don't know. Let's, though, get into the NHL entry draft. At number 1 overall, it is going to be Rasmus Dahlin to the Carolina Hurricanes, and that pick right there, oh my goodness. Left-handed defenseman, 2-way defenseman. He's got medium elite. This guy, he could probably already play in the NHL, and it says that he can. Top 6 defenseman is his role, and again, that is a guy you build around. Another guy you build around is Joe Veleno. He is a center playmaker, pretty much the same thing as Dahlin, except he is an offenseman. He is also a left-handed shot, 18 years of age, medium elite. That is a very, very good pick there to the weirdly struggling Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't know what happened to them last year. Anyway, to the Florida Panthers goes Philip Zadina. Same situation, left-handed shot, 18 years of age, medium elite potential. Another guy that you do build around. Boston Bruins here, they're going to draft yet another defenseman. So they already have McAvoy, they already have Lindgren, and now they're going to get Ryan Merkley, 17 years of age, a year younger than everyone else so far, medium elite, and he is going to be a very, very good defenseman for them in the future. Detroit, they're going to go after Kupari there, medium top 6 center. Now, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, who tanked last season, and a lot of their guys did not step up at all like they did in real life. They're going to go after McIsaac. Busick goes to the Canucks. Akil Thomas goes to the Flyers. You got Bodine, that goes to the Rangers. McDonald goes to the Stars. A lot of these guys, medium top 6 forwards or medium top 4 defensemen, although there are some bad picks there, like Hug to the San Jose Sharks. And while I was simming, I'm like, there's a guy on the board that I was looking at, and he did not go yet. So we're going to try a trade here with the Arizona Coyotes. But unfortunately, we're going to have to give up someone, and that someone is Jake Muzzin. Jake Muzzin is a type of guy that makes or breaks a team. Every team has their all-star players, but it's guys like Jake Muzzin that add depth on second lines or third lines that just make a team good. And Jake Muzzin has been that throughout his entire career, but we're going to have to give him up eventually if we want to start a rebuild, start getting younger guys in, because we are not going to be good forever. This last season, it might have been a fluke. Very, very lucky. I still can't even believe it. But we're going to be trading Jake Muzzin, a couple of other picks, for the Arizona Coyotes' first-round pick, which is at pick 15, and Tobias Reeder. And just take a look at Reeder's stats. He was fantastic last season. He got like 28 goals. This guy's a goal scorer. So it is sad to see Jake Muzzin go, and we're actually going to sweeten the deal with 2 third-round picks. But Tobias Reeder, hopefully can fill the void of losing Jake Muzzin, even though they play 2 different positions. Anyway, here at pick 15, there are some guys I was looking at. Jet Wu is one guy that could potentially replace Jake Muzzin in value, not position, because I think we're going to move Martinez over to that left defensive spot because he's also left-handed. Muzzin and Martinez played beside each other, but Martinez was on the right side, so we're going to move him over to the left. Draft one of these 2 guys here. Evan Bouchard, I like a little bit better. I believe he's a little bit taller, a little bit more big, and hopefully harder on the puck. But this was the guy I was looking at, Benoit Olivier Groll. I believe that's how you say his name. 6'4" sniper. He looks very, very good. Hopefully he is a medium top 6 forward, and hopefully Bouchard and Wu are medium top 4 defensemen. And another guy here I was looking at, but it lists him as a second-round pick, Jack Harris. I could potentially trade up for him. I was considering that at the time. We'll just have to see what happens here in a couple seconds. And, yeah, Bouchard and Wu, 2 guys that pretty much came down to it. We need to fill Jake Muzzin's role as a defenseman and in value, and I believe one of these 2 guys can do it. 2 guys can do it. And, yeah, here we are going to be looking at Evan Bouchard. We're going to draft him at pick 15. He is a medium top 4 defenseman, and that right there, that is a solid, solid pick. So in the future, he could be playing beside Alec Martinez if he hasn't retired yet. And you can see Groll goes to the Minnesota Wild. Wu goes to the St. Louis Blues. Another guy here, Nathan Eggenberger, I was looking at. He goes to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now at pick 31, just look at this, man. I had him in mind the entire time at pick 31. That's why I didn't mention him in the last pick. But 6'5", 220. He's a power forward, 18 years of age, right-hand shot. He looks to be an absolute monster. And what does Crosby have? Crosby has Malkin. So in this case, I'm trying to put Velarde with Roberts. So, I mean, I'm trying to get some center depth for the future. And here you can see the Bruins draft another defenseman, Giuliano. He's a medium elite. And then a medium elite grinder goes to the Detroit Red Wings. Man, a lot of elites here to start off the second round. And the reason for all of these fade transitions in between is because I was trying to make a trade with each and every single one of these teams. I'm trying to trade up and possibly get Jack Harris because he's the last player that I was looking at to get there. At pick 15, everybody I was looking at, I want Jack Harris. So anyway, here we're going to get rid of Jacob Friend, who is a prospect. We're going to get rid of Kevin Gravel and a couple of other picks. I believe it's like a second-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and a fifth-round pick. A ton of picks to Philadelphia. Finally, they accept that trade. And yeah, we looked at Jack Harris, and we're definitely going to draft him here. I believe he could be worth it. We'll see in a second. Yes, he is. Medium top 6 forward. So that paid off very nicely. Although I did miss out on a couple elites, I think that pick is a very solid pick. It's a safe pick, it's a consistent pick, and it's not, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just a very solid pick, I guess. Anyway, here, to finish off the second round, there wasn't really much. A lot of medium top 9 guys, medium top 6 defensemen, just nothing great. And because we traded away our 4th and 5th round pick, we're going to have to settle here for some AHL players. Cole Koski, I thought he could have possibly be an NHL player, but he's definitely going to be a good, very, very good AHL player there for us, hopefully in the future. And we're also going to draft a backup goaltender there. That was a steal. That Kuleshov guy, that was a very good pick in my opinion. The future backup for our NHL team. And now here to complement Cole Koski, we're going to draft James Hamblin, a center. Same role pretty much in the future. So hopefully those two guys can play in the AHL. But the three main guys from this draft, Evan Bouchard, Connor Roberts, and Jack Harris, all three of those guys are going to be instrumental to the future of our team as we begin the rebuilding process. Also, Kuleshov there, backup, and then Hamblin and Koski in the AHL. I cannot speak right now, man. It's starting to tick me off. Anyway, here in re-signing, let's talk a little bit about the present, not the future, the present. We're going to, not franchise tag, we're going to restrict Derek Forbort and take a look at Michael Camilleri right here. We're going to give Camilleri a one-year deal. He was very good last year, but we beefed up his contract a little bit, but I don't want to give him too much money. We're also going to restrict Nick Shore and Adrian Kempe, a lot of our young guys here that I definitely want to bring back. Nick Dowd, pretty good fourth liner for us. I wouldn't mind bringing him back if Nick Shore doesn't sign with us. It'd be nice to have him centering the fourth line. Other guys here, we're going to restrict Michael Mersch. Marcus Phillips, the same draft class as Gabriel Velarde. We're going to sign him to a 3-year entry deal. And as you can see, Michael Camilleri will actually reject our offer, and I believe his time here in Los Angeles is done. Thank you, Camilleri, for everything, but I'm not giving you a ton of money for just 1 year. I like... 1 year is nice, but I just don't feel like giving him that much money because look at our cap space. We are running into cap problems. So we're going to release a couple players here, Christian Folin and Michael Camilleri. Drake Reisma, same draft class as Gabriel Velarde and Marcus Phillips. We're going to sign him there to an entry deal. Justin Auger was pretty good on our AHL squad. I wouldn't mind bringing him back, and so we'll try to. Now here for our AHL defenseman, the one stat that I pretty much take a look at is defensive awareness. And Zach Leslie, unfortunately, he did grow a little bit, but I don't really want to bring him back with that kind of defensive awareness. Curtis McDermott, same kind of situation here. That 77 defensive awareness is just not good enough. And Lintu Niemi, I believe we are going to keep him. Yes, because he is showing growth, obvious growth everywhere. I definitely want to bring him back, and he's only 22 years of age, so hopefully he can step up and possibly be a very good defenseman for our AHL in the future, AHL team in the future. Andrew Krasinski here, we're going to release, and it looks like we're going to see him here and see who accepts. A lot of these guys are either prospects, AHL guys. I know it's not that interesting, but here we go. Jonathan Bernier, oh man, this guy was so good for us when we traded for him last year at the trade deadline, and yeah, he got even better at the end of the year and in the playoffs. So now here we are going to restrict, who was that? We restrict Campbell. We're going to sign Villalta, same draft class as Velarde and Phillips and all them. Jeff Zakov, longtime King. We're going to offer him a contract. Bernier will actually reject, but I do want to pursue that. I'm going to make sure he is on this team. If I saw that correctly, Zakov accepts, and the guy with the last name starting with a V, he will accept on his entry year deal. And finally, Jonathan Bernier will accept his contract there. So pretty much everything worked out the way I wanted it to, except Michael Camilleri. I would have liked to re-sign him. So we could continue to play beside Anze Kopitar because that was nice. Actually, there might not be any room for him, so maybe that was good because we do have Tobias Reeder now. Don't forget about that. Anyway, there you can see Paul Ledoux. We signed him, but here we go. So Marian Gaborik was on that list of guys that I did want to get rid of, and we have got to make cap just somehow. We need room to sign guys in the future. Like even in a couple of years, Tyler Toffoli's contract is up, and we're just pretty much all out of space to have any kind of good depth to make a good playoff run as well. So we've got to get rid of somebody. We already started off with trading away Jake Muzzin, although Tobias Reeder did have a pretty big contract coming to us. So here, Marian Gaborik, he's a goal scorer. He lists him as a sniper, and he's not scoring us goals. We're going to sweeten up the deal, trade him to Montreal for a 7th-round pick. I spent at least like 30 minutes on this guy. It was crazy. I could not get a deal through, and we are going to finally trade away Marian Gaborik. It is a sad day. It is a very sad day, and it gets even sadder. Thank you, Gaborik, for everything, but take a look at this. Dustin Brown, the former captain of the team. We're trading away the former captain, but we couldn't. We could not trade him away. I'm trying to move his contract some way or another. It just did not work. I tried to. It took me like 45 minutes for him, and I still didn't get a result. So at this time, Dustin Brown is safe. But in free agency, we're going to take a look at a former King, Braden McNabb. Very physical guy. Hopefully he could possibly replace the physical nature of Jake Muzzin, but he is going to reject that offer. Jack Campbell, we restricted him. He will accept his deal. And now continuing to sim here. What is coming up? So we still have 4 guys left. If I remember, it is Derek Forbert, Nick Shore, and I forget the last 2 guys. We'll see here in a second. But yeah, so for now, Dustin Brown is safe, but Marian Gaborik is traded to Montreal. Adrian Kempe will accept his RFA deal. And yeah, thank you, Gaborik, for everything. And yeah, sorry, Brown, that we could not move you, because now look at that cap room, man. Holy moly! Although we are going to sign Derek Forbert here to a 2-year deal, 4.5. We overpaid him just a little bit because we do want this guy on our team and we want him to be happy playing beside Drew Doughty, one of the best defensemen in the league, on our first line, or first pairing, I should say. Nick Shore, very nice guy as well. In the playoffs, I believe at one time he was like 81 overall. That might have been just because of morale, but hopefully he can get to that place again next year. And he will accept his deal, and so does Derek Forbert. So we got our key guys back here, and that is what I like to see. Also, Michael Merschk is going to be the last restricted guy. Merschk did very, very well for us in the AHL, and he could possibly crack the NHL team. Anyway, here we need a defenseman badly. We pretty much, yeah, we desperately need a defenseman. I'm sorry for stuttering, by the way. Zach Redmond will actually reject our offer and go to Toronto. So that is unfortunate. Merschk will accept his deal, but we do need that defenseman, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. I tried out with McNabb, 78 overall. Then this last guy, Redmond, who was 76 overall. And now we're going after Pullman, who's an RFA for Winnipeg. We're going to offer him to a 1-year deal. Look how close we are to the cap, the restriction. That is crazy. The maximum cap, I should say. I'm forgetting words right now. This is not a good English day for me. Anyway, we don't have to offer any picks, however, and we're going to offer him the contract, and he will accept it. So Pullman could potentially grow into like maybe a third pairing defenseman, but right now he's going to have to play beside Alec Martinez on that second line, and that is what I have in mind. So, yeah, that is a little bit risky, but we'll take a look at the team here in a couple moments. In a few seconds, I should say. Actually, no, we got to make some more trades. That's right. I want to sign some guys here, and some of our young guys like Connor Roberts, Evan Bouchard, because I don't know if they're going to play in the juniors or not, because I still don't know the rule. Hopefully they go to the AHL. I'm not quite sure how that works. We're going to have to free up some more cap, though, if we want to continue with signing the young guys, and we're going to get rid of Kyle Clifford. Thank you, Clifford, for everything, being a grinder on this team, but we just simply don't need you anymore, man. So, yeah, here we go, signing some prospects. Again, hopefully they go to the AHL so they can grow faster and everything would be good. And let's take a look at the lines for the next season. So it's going to be the, 2018 to 2019 season? Yes, it is. That 70s line is back on our first line. Tanner Pearson, Jeff Carter, Tyler Toffoli. Second line, Tobias Reeder, Anze Kopitar, and Dustin Brown. Third line, Adrian Kempe, Zach Smith, and Trevor Lewis. Fourth line will be Nick Shore, Nick Dowd, and Michael Merschk. Now defensively, take a look here. Drew Doughty and Derek Forbert on the first pairing. You got Alec Martinez and Tucker Pullman, not Trevor, Tucker Pullman on that second pairing. Oscar Fantenberg and Paul Ledoux on the third pairing. And this team is looking a little bit sparse, a little bit shaky. A lot of our older guys did regress, like Dustin Brown and Trevor Lewis, and a lot of our young guys, they didn't grow or they regressed, like Adrian Kempe or what's-his-face, Paul Ledoux. Paul Ledoux actually regressed. It's crazy, and Kempe didn't even grow at all, so it's a little bit shaky this season, although hopefully Jonathan Quick and Jonathan Bernier can settle that down. Even Jonathan Bernier dropped an overall. What the heck? But yeah, Quick is still a very great goaltender. Andreoff will be the scratched player, and let's take a look at morale. So yeah, this team, hopefully with morale they can get good, but right now a lot of the older guys, I knew Dustin Brown would drop off, and now his trade value is only less, so that's scary. We might not be able to move this guy if we wait too long, and I believe we just did. So that is unfortunate. Yes, so see, he's 79, Lewis is 79. I think Zach Smith also dropped off a couple overall points. That is terrifying. But here we go, captains and jerseys. Anze Kopitar, another year as the captain. Jeff Carter is going to be the alternate, and Drew Doughty will be another alternate. So those are the leadership positions there, as both Brown and what's-his-face, Kopitar are leaders in the morale category. Anyway, here on our AHL squad, some key guys I'd like to highlight who help out with the younger guys. Alex Iafallo, Johnny Brzezinski, and Mike Amadio, and Justin Alger. Those four guys right there, those help grow our younger players. And only two of the younger players, only two of the prospects that I signed in the offseason made it to the AHL team. It's Jack Harris and Drake Rijma. So that is unfortunate. I guess everyone else is in juniors, and I still don't know the role, and it's so incredibly frustrating. Here on defense, the only guy that I would really like to develop is Cale Clegg. Everyone else is pretty much just a placeholder or there to help him grow. Jack Campbell, actually, Jeff Zakov will be starting. Jack Campbell will be the backup. And let's take a look around the league at some teams that are going to be dangerous. Patrick Laine and the Winnipeg Jets. Holy moly, look at this first line. Laine, Mark Scheifele, and Blake Wheeler. That is crazy. Their second line, Matthew Perreault, Brian Little, and Nikolai Ehlers. And any team that has Kyle Connor, 82 overall, on their fourth line is dangerous. But just take a look at their defense. They gave up so much trouble last year because of their defense in the playoffs. Jacob Trouba, Dustin Byfuglien, Dion Phaneuf, Christopher Tanev, and some guy I just forgot on that as the fifth guy. Crap, I scrolled through that too quickly. Anyway, Steve Mason in goal also is pretty solid. Now here on the Edmonton Oilers, oh man, just another good team. That's right, Tyler Myers was on that fifth defenseman. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. But look at the third guy now. Third center down, Kaylor Yamamoto. They're a very, very good draft pick from a couple years ago. Also some nice wingers in Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Yeshi Puliarvi, Milan Lucic, Alexei Slepyshev, right? Just I can't pronounce the names. They're all so weird. Zach Cassian there on the third line too, some nice depth. And here we go on their defense. You got Oscar Klefbom, Adam Larson, Andre Sekera, and Darnell Nurse. But with the addition of Johnny frickin' Boychuk, oh my goodness, this team is going to be so good, possibly as good as Winnipeg defensively. And Cam Talbot in net. They don't have a backup, but it's still Cam Talbot in net. And for some reason in this game, he is so good. And now here we go. The team we beat in the Stanley Cup Final, still without a Stanley Cup win, is Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. So it's Ovechkin, Nicholas Backstrom, TJ Oshie, Andrei Burakovsky, Evgeny Kuznetsov, Jacob Vrana, and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is the best top six in the entire league. Oh my good, I can't even describe you. And then look at this depth. You got guys like Tom Wilson, Brett Connolly, Burmistrov, Chasian. That's pretty much it there. But Stepniak and Butler, not the greatest, but still, this team is still so good. Niskanen, Carlson, Orlov, Orpik, same as last year with Madison Bowie there, who did not grow at all on their third pairing. And then Braden Holtby in net, the Vezina winner and William M. Jennings winner, and he looks to be good. Here's the team that lost in the Eastern Conference Final. They pretty much surprised everybody, including me last year. Jack Eichel, Rasmus Ristolainen, the two guys that lead this team, and Robin Lehner, I guess. Those three guys lead this team, and it's just very solid. Ryan O'Reilly there on offense, too. On that second line is pretty solid. Bo beside Ristolainen, Scandella, Bogosian there. Two solid defensemen. And, yeah, you can see Pominville, Molson, you got some nice veterans. You got Opozo and Reinhardt on that first line beside Eichel. And then here you see Robin Lehner, and they actually do have a very nice backup in Hutchinson. So, that is going to be the end of this episode, guys. We'll have to see how we do next season with, we had some troubles, I'm not going to lie. It's looking a little bit bad, but we did get some prospects for the future. Comment, rate, subscribe, your veggies, go to school. Damn,